Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a new video, obviously. Today is going to be the beginning of a new series that I want to start on my channel, and it's going to be called Real Talk. Now, I'm a little bit nervous to do this because I'm not an expert at figuring things out at all. I have breakdowns weekly. I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. I graduated from a degree that I'm not using. The point is that I think I'm starting to kind of get wish-washy with what it is I want my channel to be about. And I want my channel to be a place where people can talk about the struggles that they are having in life, and a place where we can kind of make light of them, because everyone is struggling. If you're anywhere from like 18 to like 35, you know what? No, it doesn't really matter how old you are. I think that everyone at some point in their life is confused as to what they're doing. I don't think that there's a way to get around that or dodge it. That's just what life is. I think that it really comes down to your perspective on how you are going to handle those lows in life. I'm gonna tell you my story a little bit. It's nothing crazy. It's pretty much every other person's story, but I just want to give you a little bit of insight into where I was at and where I am now. Ugh, it's intimidating. Basically, I had an incredible childhood. Like, there's no way to properly convey to you how incredible my childhood was. I was one of those lucky kids who was given every opportunity and every freedom to just live the way that a child should be able to live. When I hit 18, I experienced my first real phase of depression, and it was absolutely terrifying because all of a sudden you don't feel as safe as you did before. You don't feel as sure about life as you did before, and things that start to get complicated and scary, and all of a sudden expectations start to make an entrance. I had such a hard time in grade 12 and then my first year and second year of university. And I do suffer from phased depression. It's just in my genes. Sometimes I can't help it. Everything in my life could be going perfectly and it just hits me like a truck. It's awful. It's so difficult to go through it. I know many people in North America, or just Western society in general, also suffer from depression and anxiety. And it's nothing new. Everyone goes through it. It doesn't help to know everyone goes through it. You just don't want to feel that way anymore. Now, here's where things really got messed up for me. I had this certain expectation that I was creating. It wasn't my parents telling me that I could only do this path or this path. I wouldn't even say it was necessarily society's impact and influence. For sure that's part of it, but that wasn't really the core problem for me. My issue was the expectations I was creating for myself and then not meeting them, and then feeling like a failure. And that circle just repeated itself over and over and over and over again. It's awful. It's degrading and defeating, and you don't have any motivation to keep going. To keep going on the path you set for yourself, let alone have the mindset to be able to be open to something that you haven't even thought you might want to do, or the kind of person you want to be. It's scary and it's very difficult to figure that out. That's kind of where I was. Today is a very different story. First of all, I still suffer from depression. That being said, I haven't had a period of time in which I've been severely depressed like I was before in over like 2 years. There's a number of reasons for that. I think one of the most important things that I can tell you from my experience is I stopped being afraid of being depressed. which took quite a long time. It started with going and getting help, which I resisted at first. I didn't want to be a person that needs to go get help, which honestly is a ridiculous state of mind. I think it's easy for human beings to get lazy with certain things, and going and getting help is one of them. A, you want to be able to conquer it on your own. B, you just don't want to go and talk to someone about your problems. Maybe you think that what would you tell them? Like, my life isn't even that bad, I just don't feel good. What would I tell them? Whatever reason it is, it's okay to think that, but I'm telling you, it's very helpful. I went twice, that's it, 2 times, to a university therapist, and it was such a good experience for me. I think crying to someone and breaking down in front of someone that is objective is a very powerful thing. And you know, you have to give these people credit because they went to school for this. They understand, you know, they're not gonna be uncomfortable in a situation with you. They have been given the tools to help you. I went twice, and that was all it took. And she gave me a few tools, a few activities, things to help me get out of the lull that I was in, and it was very useful. Would I say those 2 appointments are what got me to where I am today? No, they were part of the journey, but what got me here, as I was mentioning, is not being afraid of depression, and that started with going and getting help. After that, I invited depression in. I know when I'm sliding and slipping, and I know when it's coming for sure, and I know when maybe I'll be able to get out of it, and I have such a good grasp on my depression that I can maneuver the way I need to. God, it's nerve-wracking talking about this, but it's good. I invite it in, and if I feel it coming, then I let it happen, because fighting it is not going to help you. And making yourself feel worse because you don't want to feel that way is not going to help you. And I know it's hard because, you know, it happens to everyone. It happens to people who are bubbly and happy-go-lucky, and their entire life are kind of portrayed to their friends and family as like the light in the room. And then all of a sudden you're feeling so low and vulnerable, and it's scary, and you don't feel like yourself. And not having that sense of control is very difficult to wrap your head around, and it feels unfair that you have to go through this. It's okay to not be okay, and for me, the more I realize like depression is just part of who I am, and every single time I go through depression, I learn something at the other end. My life in general has become better, but more than that, my depression and my phases of depression have become further and further apart. In some ways, I feel like I have gained that control back. And mental illness is being out of control, and that's one of the scariest parts about it. But it's okay to not be in control all the time. Sometimes that's just the way it is. But if you just like let yourself feel that low and let yourself take it in, and don't fight it, and don't beat yourself down for feeling it, and you know, don't think that this is forever. It's not forever. Everyone's path is different. Maybe you need to be going to a therapist for years and years. Maybe you need to be taking medication. Maybe you need, you know, an outlet every single week, like a group to talk to, or anything. It could be anything. Everyone is different. From my experience, I've become friends with my mental illness, and it has completely changed my life. I always go through lows. I was talking with my friend the other day, and she was like, lows in my life are my favorite part, because while I'm crying and being defeated and feeling upset, I know in my mind, like, okay, but something is going to be coming out of this that I can't see quite yet, but like, it's coming. It'll make its way when it needs to. That is true. It's amazing. Thank you so much for listening, and I really I hope that this was useful in some way. Or if you disagree or you have something to add on, like, please email me or comment down below, anything. I mean, this is why I want to do YouTube, because I want to talk to people about things that will help you to grow. Thank you for listening, and I don't know how many times, I guess I will do a real talk episode. I'm thinking maybe like once a month would be kind of cool. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I hope you are all having a lovely start to your week, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.